Hello everyone and welcome to day one of the Chia Virtual Conference 2021. My name is Andrew Cox from Maintenance Manager. Today we're going to have a talk about maintenance workflow efficiency and show you through the Maintenance Manager system. We're going to start off by showing you a few slides and then take you through a software demonstration to show you some of the true benefits you can obtain for your organization using Maintenance Manager. Thanks. Maintenance Manager is designed to work with your existing housing management software to provide better outcomes and a more efficient way to handle the maintenance workflow for all types of maintenance in your organization, such as reactive, planned, and cyclical maintenance. So your housing software does what it does. It manages tenancies and the reporting and information around the houses that you manage. Maintenance Manager, on the flip side, is a cloud-based system designed to give access to your teams in the field or in the office to all things relating to the maintenance workflow and to provide some great efficiencies and automation around that maintenance workflow to provide I suppose less stress on your team and to provide better communication and risk management outcomes. So from an outcomes perspective, huge data entry savings and a big reduction in duplication, which is quite common across organisations in the community housing sector. The system will never let your team forget anything, which is a great risk management tool. It also creates some fantastic audit trails and provides, ultimately, if you're integrating our safety, property safe services as well, better safety for occupants in your homes and for your staff visiting or working in those homes. Some great KPIs and reporting are available in the system around the maintenance workflow and providing better and enhancing stakeholder communications. For example, sending information out to your tenants if the system can automatically remind the tenant that you've got some, there's something that they need to attend to, or let them know when the tradie is coming out to the property, etc. And that can be done on an automated basis from the system to keep people better informed, which ultimately makes them a little bit happier. We also verify and verify all of your trade suppliers in terms of insurances, licenses. We do they can have police checks into the system, working with children, etc. So we take over the verification of the trades and provide you back a national network of verified trade suppliers to have your work done. Naturally, you want to use your own trades, and we onboard those trades for you. And giving people better information and convenience obviously makes people a bit happier. We've got apps as an example that can go into your tenant's hand to lodge a maintenance request and keep them up to date throughout the process. And as I mentioned at the beginning, it's cloud-based and the access to the data is immediate. And, in these times we live in, here we are, we're all working from home and, lockdowns, etc., having things available on your phone to action work maintenance, communicate with trade suppliers, etc., is very, very important and is becoming more important in today's world. So from a product summary, we're just going to focus on Maintenance Manager in this session. Later in the day today, I have some more sessions around property safe inspections and reports, which is an outsourced service for safety inspection and compliance reporting, and also asset reporting. And also we're going to have a look at the Inspect Safe and Location app, which is part of the Maintenance Manager suite of products. And we're also going to have a bit more of a deep dive into very simplified asset planning using an app to bring you to undertake your asset forecasting inspections, component inspections, and bring them through into a 10-year forecast model in a very, very simple way. So today we're talking, as I mentioned, about Maintenance Manager. What's in it for you? A whole bunch of things. We simply have revolutionized the maintenance workflow, no question. We can save you huge amounts of time, better safety for your occupants and your own team. It's fully cloud-based and you'll save a whole bunch of time, and obviously time is money. From an ecosystem perspective, just to give you an idea of what it looks like here, you've got Maintenance Manager, which is the engine that drives the platforms. And around Maintenance Manager, you might have your housing management system over here with data coming in and out of Maintenance Manager. That's data on properties, etc., and access information, and then invoicing information going back into those systems and often into other finance systems as well. So you've got your tradies are linked in with a web portal. You've got your approval, internal and external approver portals, landlords and internal approvers, a location app, which we're going to focus on a little bit later today for your staff, which is fully linked back in. So this is capturing maintenance in the field or undertaking inspections and fully integrating those back into the maintenance manager system. Same with the trade suppliers. The information they supply is automatically uploaded back into the dashboards instead of bombarding you with thousands of emails, which is common in most organisations. Then we've got a tenant app. We also have a tenant website, which does allow some triaging of emergencies as well. We're not going to get into that now because we don't have time. This is a short session, 15 minutes. However, let's just jump into it now. So let's have a look at a job workflow in Maintenance Manager, and I'll flip into that session right now. Now, there are multiple ways a job can be loaded into Maintenance Manager. It could be from a tenant app like you've got on the screen here, could be loaded in by your staff or be integrated from, transferred automatically from one of the inspections in our location app, or it could be loaded by a tradie. But let's just have a look at a tenant lodging a job in Maintenance Manager here. Let's just say it's a storm or fire damage job, and they could say the pergola is broken. Now I'm sitting at home here, so you won't see a pergola, but we'll just take a photograph in a second here. Pergola broken, and they take a photo. So let's say that was the pergola. Tenant takes the photograph, and that's loaded automatically into the job sheet. And then the tenant lodges the maintenance job. And you can see here the request is being sent. It's now being pushed into the Maintenance Manager dashboard. Now we're going to flip over to the Maintenance Manager dashboard and show you over the dashboard. And welcome to the Maintenance Manager dashboard. Now let's just quickly explain the dashboard, then I'll show you the job that's come in from the tenant. We've got our workflow bar on the left-hand side here. Simply put, if there's a number in a box, the operator has something to do. If you do the task, the number disappears and it will come back into the workflow at a later date. If something jumps out of the workflow at any time, it'll pop into a bucket called attention required. That would be an example of a trade supplier not turning up to do a job on the day they said they'd do it, and it will pop back into attention required if they didn't say they'd let you know that it had been fixed via the simple technology we give them. Over here on the right hand side, this is the 5 most outstanding jobs at any time, and you can see these jobs have been idle for some time in the organisation. So it tracks time to act on things is a key measurement, and you've got some KPI tools at the top here. I've also got my job status screen of all jobs currently in process in my sphere of influence in this case. So let's have a look at the new request that's come in from the tenant. Now we're moving fast here because we've only got 15 minutes. So we're going to jump in here and have a look at this. The system has created a job sheet automatically. That would have your logo at the top, all the relevant information about the property there and the job automatically created. We haven't chosen severity yet, as you can see. We'll talk about that in a sec, and you can see here the photograph I took just 10 seconds ago on the app. So this has all been loaded. You can see here some health and safety alerts. This is caring for you, your staff and your trade suppliers in the field as well, and giving them notifications if required. So let's process the job here. We need to choose a severity. Now a bit more detail here. We can show the open jobs on the property, have a look at closed maintenance jobs, who the tenant is, could be an external landlord, would be detailed here if you had one. Now, let's just say here this is an $800 estimated cost. We pick a severity, you select your time frame. These are all customizable for your organization as well. And we jump down through here, look at the information, and from here I can engage a trade supplier straight away, or I could refer this to an approver, but let's just say in this particular case I have authority to spend this money, and if it went over my limit I wouldn't be able to issue the work order anyway in this case. So let's just jump in here. I'll engage a trade supplier, and so you can see here the information about your trade suppliers. There's different categories, etc. But these are your trade suppliers. Okay, so you're choosing your trade suppliers here, but you can choose different categories of trade suppliers here if you need a new trade supplier, etc. We'll keep this simple for now. But you can choose tradies from if you've got an out of area property and engage with those trade suppliers, because other users of Maintenance Manager have invited trades into the network. Tradies can just work for you. They don't be too concerned. So let's just pick here. We'll pick Bob the Builder. You can see here that he's licensed, verified, insured, etc. for what he does. Other little indicators here might be additional information like police checks, etc., etc. Okay. So we can see here the trades are also rated, but we'll just focus on this job, pushing this job through now here. Let's say this was a carpentry job to repair, because we said it was a pergola. Now I've chosen what we did before. We chose the severity of the job as we went through as the appropriate severity, and that'll select the time frame choices down here. Okay, it'll default to a certain days relative to the severity of the job. Okay, so we're just going to say we want this job done by the 1st of the 9th, and we go save. And now this is pushing it out to, you see the workflow now on the communication side. So have a look at the communication. It's all customizable. You can turn anything on or off as you so choose. This is texting the tenant to say someone's coming out to the property. Right, then we've done here, we've sent it out to the tradie for quote. It's letting them know by email. There could be 2 tenants in the home. That'll communicate with multiple tenants. And you can see here internally, I may wish to communicate with my manager or someone else internally. And again, all of this is customizable, and you can turn any of those communications on or off as you so choose. So now we've sent the job out for a quote request from a trade supplier called Bob the Builder. You can see here now, this has come back into my quotes ready bucket on the left-hand side. We'll see here is the quote from Bob the Builder. Now you see I'm taking this job from start to finish as an operator, and I'm not looking at a single email. The trade supplier's information and all the detail is coming straight back to this one dashboard for you. Okay, it's a massive time saver, and it means you don't get bombarded with all these emails, which is what happens now. So here it is, quote's been submitted, waiting maintenance coordinator approval. I can have a look at the quote from Bob. There it is there. 250, and I can refer this internally again or externally if I need to, but let's just say we're going to approve. We approve the job, it's in my authority. I can GL code here, or I can GL code at the end of the job. We'll just do it at the end for convenience. Push this through, and now I'm issuing the work order. Let the tenant know who's coming out to the property as a courtesy. And again, once you get used to the system, you don't need to preview all those emails. They're pretty standard, a lot of them, and they'll just flow out to the appropriate party. So we've issued the work order already. Wow, we're a couple of minutes in and we've issued the work order, and we're waiting for the trade supplier to say, yes, I'd like to do the work. We'll just refresh this screen as you can see here. So if a trade supplier accepts the work, sets a time to complete it, it's got a default time on there anyway. If they can't get a part, they might change that. You've set your expectation as you want to get that done, and the system follows up the tradie automatically if they don't respond, or don't respond to your work order, or don't say they've completed the work. In this case here, the job has been completed by the trade. You can see here a whole bunch of information on the screen. Quickly go across this. Here's the job reference number and the information, the details here. The property, the detail, who did it, when it was completed, and the quote amount and invoiced amount were the same, so there's no variance. And look at this, it's gone back out to the tenant after the trade said it was finished, and the tenant has given us verification. It's pinged them on the app and they've said, yes, it's okay. They can also take photos at that point, and they can also rate your trade suppliers. We've got inbuilt ratings in the system. So now what I'm going to do is approve this invoice. We'll have a look at it here. The invoice will pop on the screen. I look at the number, I look at the amount, make sure I'm comfortable with that, and then I can push this invoice through for approval. Now this will then merge, depending on the system you have, back in with your housing management system. I could GL code this. I can split the GLs with percentages as example. I can add a cost center if I need to on this one here. Let's just add a cost center, and then I approve this invoice. And that's a job from start to finish, a work order. You can see how the system has done all of those things and given me all the information. Now I may communicate internally with people. The system would thank the tenant for verifying, and look at this. I can rate the trade supplier. Generally speaking, they're all great tradies in the system because they've been invited in the first place. And we just say, great job. That helps your tradies as well if they're looking for more work in the system with better ratings. So, job has been fully documented in the system. I'm going to show you the audit trail that's been created in a second here. So what's happened now? Let's have a look in here. If I come into the reconciliation screen here, you'll see that the invoice has been loaded into the reconciliation screen, and your housing management system will generally come in here and swoop these out of here and load all this data back into your system automatically. But in this case here, You can see here's the job and the information here. I can export all of this out to CSV files for importing into payment systems. There's a whole range of things we can do. But let's have a bit of a look at this job here. If I click on the job reference number, we'll have a look at the detail that's just been created on this job. In that couple of minutes that we just took to do that, from start to finish, you can see all the information here. You'll see, I'll just refresh that screen there, sorry about that. Just pull this down through here. You can see all the details and dates, all of the photographs and information around the job sheets, etc. And then you've got this incredible activity history here, all the emails, every button that was clicked all the way through, and that creates, in generally under 30 seconds, it creates a full, true legal audit trail of this job. And you might have to go to tribunal. Here it is, it was less than 20 seconds. 30-page long audit trail of the job that we just created. This is your legal document of this. It can't be edited. It's there. You might need to go to tribunal or give it to an insurer or have a discussion with someone who agreed to pay. There's the photo I started with. You can see in my study here. The rest are just thrown in here automatically for the purposes of demonstrations. And you can see all the way down through here, the job information, etc., etc., etc. And you can see here the system's automatically, if you wish, added a cover sheet to the job. All the exports have also the GL coding and everything on them as well. And that's all contained in the QR code if you want to add that in there as well. And then we've got the invoice here, which has been stamped. So that's system self-stamped. So no printing of invoices, completely paperless, all digital, and that then information would normally flow through to your housing management system. So that's the short and condensed version of a workflow tool. See, we only had a couple of minutes, and most people think you couldn't do a work order in that time, but obviously we can, because we're automating a lot of the process in the background. And it's all coming back into the single dashboard to let me control the maintenance from here. So complete control, better efficiency, better communication to all parties, and better risk management. And that's a quick summary of the Maintenance Manager workflow. Love the opportunity to show you in a little bit more depth through the system with a custom demo for your organization. We could show you the internal delegations in the system, how the exports work, and of course later today and at any other time, I'm more than happy to show you over the fully integrated inspection apps and other technology that we've got that links into the system. So it's all about integration and it's all about efficiency. So look forward to showing you over the platform and to you joining our other sessions today at the CHIA conference. Have a great conference, and we'll look forward to talking to you soon. My details are going to pop back up on the screen in just a second here. You'll see there's my details right there. So Andrew Cox from Property Safe. There's my email address and my mobile phone number, 0418 652822. So give us a call anytime. Looking forward to helping you out. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.